today we're going to be looking at the brand new Nextorch TA22. This is a compact tactical pen light from Nextorch, and they've released a few of these in the past, but this is by far my favorite. They've made some really interesting improvements of the previous models, and this produces 850 lumens. Pretty easy, as you can see, to sort of slip into your pocket. You're going to barely be able to feel it in your pocket. And it's got this tri-mode selector here. So you've got this sort of tactical ring on the back there. So you can go from like a lock mode, there's a duty mode, and then there's like a one-step turbo and, well, not turbo, but high and strobe mode. You've got this glass breaking bezel as well, these like 3 ceramic glass breaking tips. And yeah, I think the TA22 would be an excellent EDC / walking light, something that you put in your bag, especially for an emergency. And it's going to perform pretty well for anyone working in law enforcement and security as well, perhaps as a backup flashlight. So let's have a look at what's in the box. So of course you get the TA22 itself. And if we open it up, Nextorch include this battery. It's a 10880 cell, really interesting looking battery. It's like a really long AAA cell, and it does come with a USB-C charging port. It's 650 milliamp hour cell. So this is the box that the TA22 comes in, and does have some little specifications, bits and pieces on the box if you want to pause the video and have a look. But you do get some instructions, basic instruction manual. Didn't need to use that, it's just so easy to use. A nice little USB-C charging cable and also a lanyard. So I've managed to dig up my old review models of the Nextorch K30, and this one produces 850 lumens, similar to the TA22, and the Nextorch K3RT, which produces 330 lumens. And you'll notice with these two, they have like kind of smooth bodies. They don't look very tactical at all. Well, the K3RT, I think, is the only one that's meant to be more of a tactical style pen light. But yeah, you've got that single switch on both of them. There's no rotary switch along the side. But if you look at the head, the K3RT has this glass breaking bezel, okay, with the 3 ceramic glass breaking beads. Okay, so it's almost as if it's a hybrid. You know, it's taking the TA22 is taking the 850 lumen output of the K30 and merging it with this tactical style bezel, and actually adding on a proper tactical mode. So you can switch it on here. You can press for, you know, one-step-strobe and the high mode. And I also brought along one of my other Nextorch flashlights. This is the Nextorch T10L. This is one of their flagship LEP flashlights. And if you look at the build quality, it's just amazing. It's keeping up really with the build quality of this much more expensive flashlight. I think Nextorch are using that same refined process. So here's a little close-up of the Nextorch TA22. And like I was mentioning before, this is the first Nextorch pen light that I feel has this similar quality design and feel as one of their higher end flashlights. The body is machined from 6061 T6 aluminium, and it's got that hard anodized finish as well, so it resists scratches, corrosion. It's got a nice sort of grip to it. Very similar, feels pretty much identical to the finish on my more expensive Nextorch flashlights. In terms of size, it's 149 millimeters long, bezel diameter of 16 millimeters. So yeah, this thing is really going to be easy to sort of clip it into your pocket. It's also IPX8 water submersible up to 2 meters, and it's also ANSI rated to 2 meter impact resistance, which really lives up to that tactical branding. Nextorch have also used this kind of anti-roll design, so the clip gets in the way, but also the tail has these sort of divots in it, which stops it from rolling around too much. And you've got this nice stainless steel pocket clip, which I really like compared to the older clips, which felt more like a normal pen clip, but this is the same sort of design that they use on some of their other flashlights, and it just clips on. It's like a friction, like a little friction ring there, so it's able to be removed, serviced by yourself. And if we look at the tail, there is this rotary switch here. So if we kind of move that around, we've got that lock mode, so it doesn't do anything in the lock mode. Move it on to the duty and the tack mode, and on the tail you can see there's actually a battery indicator as well, which is fantastic. You really don't see that on any pen lights. Like I mentioned, you're going to need to charge the 10880 cell outside of the flashlight. I did try using some 1.5 volt alkaline cells and they work fine in the light, and it does produce less brightness than the actual lithium ion cell. Tried some nickel metal hydride cells, they don't work, probably due to the lower voltage. So if we look down the bezel here, you can see that glass breaking bezel, 3 nano ceramic glass breaking beads. It's a stainless steel bezel. It looks like it's been darkened a bit too compared to the K3RT. So it just has a much more low reflectiveness finish. And I should also mention that this switch on the back, it's like a silent tail switch. You can barely hear this thing. But going back to the head, the reflector there is kind of a cross between orange peel and smooth. I'd say it's probably more orange peel than smooth. And you've got a glass lens there, recessed glass lens in there. I'm not sure what LED Nextorch are using in there. It does look like an Osram P9 or similar though. All right, so let's go through the UI. Now there's 3 positions like I was mentioning before. You've got this lock position here where the light doesn't do anything. Slide it over 1, you've got that duty mode, and if you half press, you can sort of cycle between low, medium, and high. So say if you want low, you can full press to lock it in. Once the light is on, you just half press to switch between modes. To switch off completely, just press all the way. And if you switch on with the full press, it always goes into the lowest mode. Something interesting though is that if you half press, say if I'm on the low mode here and then I let go, press again, it always goes to the next mode. So that's kind of medium and high. So it does remember the mode that you've used last on the momentary and then uses the next mode. So strange. So if we switch over now to the tack mode here, pretty simple, half press to access that 850 lumen mode, and then a full press will give you access to the strobe mode. Very simple. This is the 850 lumen mode here with the TA22, and you can see it starts off on 100%. You get just about a minute of runtime before the light steps down. Strangely, it goes back up again for a little bit and then dips back down, and you can see here by the 2-minute mark we're sitting on around about 20% output. I ran a second ceiling bounce test on the medium mode at 150 lumens, and you can see here light manages to last over 10 minutes really on the 100% mode, and it starts to step down around the 11 to 12 minute mark. You've got this zigzag sort of pattern as the light tries to sort of regulate the heat, and yeah, but basically you're on about 40 to maybe 80% output by the end of the test at 20 minutes. I also ran some tests with my Opal Lightmaster Pro. You can see here on the high mode, 850 lumens, managed to get 122 meters of throw. That's pretty impressive for such a small bezel. CRI ranged from 67 to 69, and CCT was on the cool end, 5,700 to 6,000. So some considerations if you're thinking about getting the Nextorch TA22. Now, this light does use that 10880 lithium ion cell. It's not too common out there in the market, so yeah, you're going to have to buy a few spares, maybe keep them with you. Otherwise, you can use those 1.5 volt AAA alkaline cells like I mentioned before. Now, the battery life isn't the best, of course, with these AAA cells or the 10880 cell compared to a double A cell, a couple of double A cells or 14100 cell flashlight, but you do get this very, very compact design. The run times are also pretty impressive given the size of the battery. You get an hour of runtime on high, 2 hours on medium, and 15 hours on the low mode. The second consideration is this rotating tail switch. I think it feels a bit easy to move around, a bit more easier than I would like, and I wish that Nextorch had maybe implemented some kind of mechanical lock. And I think that's something they should do with these rotary switches, just to stop the switch from swiveling around, something in your pocket. And yeah, I think some kind of pull and twist design could work. So if you don't pull it, the switch doesn't rotate. Yeah, because I would like to do, basically just lock it onto that tack mode so that it doesn't move around. The third consideration is that the Nextorch TA22 is pretty pricey compared to most typical pen lights out there. But again, this one comes with all the bells and whistles associated with a tactical flashlight. The Nextorch TA22 brilliantly marries pen light portability with tactical flashlight functionality. And I really like that 850 lumen punch, that one-step access to turbo, strobe. This mode dial as well makes it very versatile, being able to access like a proper 15 lumen low mode in there. You've got that glass breaking tip that you can use in an emergency. I think the TA22 would make an outstanding choice for law enforcement personnel, security, even just enthusiasts, someone looking for a basic EDC, basic kind of walking light that can also be used as a self-defense flashlight. So yeah, if you need a discreet, rechargeable EDC light that's not going to compromise on performance or durability, the TA22 delivers. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, especially if you have any questions. I'll make sure that I get back to you. And if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, click the like button and share it with a friend. It just helps me to get the video out to more people. And if you want to see more flashlight reviews and keep up to date with the latest flashlight news, make sure you subscribe. All right, I'm out here with the Nextorch TA22 and it's getting dark, and you can see a little bit of sunlight, but it's still pretty dark. And this is the highest tactical mode. You can see it's pretty easy to see through this dense bushy kind of area here. It's also a strobe mode, but you can check that out. I'm actually in this kind of field here at the moment, and that's with the light off, with it back on. There's also a few other modes. There's this sort of lower mode, then you can switch to medium and then high, which is basically what the full tactical mode defaults to. So the low, medium, high. It's quite a floody sort of beam, but most of the light, as you can see, centralized in the center. Here's a quick little low, medium, high test. So you've got low, medium. There's trees in the center coming out fine. This will be good as a walking light, and that high mode. It's pretty impressive considering how small the bezel is in diameter. Turn it off. Pretty dark. And there we have it. That's sort of highest mode, tack mode. And full press will give you this strobe. Out here with the Nextorch TA22, this is the tack mode. It's reaching across the river here. Let's just shift across here. Pretty bright for a little pen light. It's got a really strong hotspot in the center, dispersed hotspot, just blends into the spill. And there's also a few other modes you can select. So that's like a low mode, medium mode here. Should make for a great kind of walking light. And the high mode, which is also the tack mode. I mean, if you take that away, it's just complete darkness. Maybe that's about 15, 20 meters ahead of me. Let's have a look up here. And I can just show you what the path looks like behind as well. Just complete darkness, really. Seems to hold out pretty well, like without stepping down, or at least I can't tell that it's stepping down. It's a medium mode. Medium low, medium high. Beautiful view. It's a nice little light to take out on a walk. The beam profile is just perfectly suited because you get a large field of view, as well as obviously like a really bright strobe mode where you need it here. Okay, just mash that button down on the tack mode, so you got tack, then strobe. Just having a bit of a walk. Let's go into the different modes. So it's like your high mode, low, medium, high. Camera's probably going to be a little shaky, but it's doing a good job. It might have stepped down a little bit, but yeah, it's maintaining a good amount of brightness. You can see some reflective material up ahead. And just look back at the path. If I reactivate it again. And of course you can just go straight to that tack mode, half press, full press for strobe where you might need it. Not that you will. It's a nice calm night out here.